I own every single Gingerbread Funko Pop, and today we're going to be taking a look at all of them. And so let's get started with the first one ever created, which was the Gingerbread Captain America. And something that I love about these figures, and I'm probably going to be talking about a lot, is how they could actually be made out of gingerbread. Because they are very flat characters, and then the way they do the tops on them, like all of the colors, look like it's almost piping from icing. And another thing you'll notice, and I definitely have to take this one out of the box to show you guys a little bit better, is the way they actually stick the pieces together. And I honestly thought this was really cool on Funko's part, but if you'll take a look at the back side of the shield, you'll see they actually put a bit of icing to make it like it was an actual gingerbread cookie. And then after Captain America, we got another really great one, the Gingerbread Iron Man. And now when it comes to this figure here, I feel like it's less likely that you could actually make this in real life. And it's not the fact that he's got one leg in the air, it's the fact that they're using like icing to keep him off the ground. It'd probably be a little bit tough. And I wonder if anybody's actually like recreated these. And if there is somebody, did they do Iron Man? I'd love to know. But then again, besides the icing at the bottom, the way they did the colors on it is again very easy to do if you were to actually make this into a real character. But then besides the fact that he's using icing to fly, I would say the rest of him really is doable, especially because it's only like red, blue, black, and yellow. It's not that bad. And then next up here, we've got the Gingerbread Hulk, and this is a very doable one because he's literally just kind of like this flexing. It's really well done. And the way they did his eyebrows on this one is also really funny, making it look like he's very angry, and then the mouth with the little lines. I don't know, I really enjoy this one. Oh, and I also really enjoy the colors of icing that they chose because the purple pants look great, as well as the darker green for the hair. Then everybody, we've got the Gingerbread Captain Marvel, and when it comes to this one here, it's a little bit different because they actually used a clear base to hold her up. And so I guess this one couldn't actually be done in real life. I mean, here's the thing, they're just cookies, so what do I really care? But I do like to see if they're accurate or not, and like if you could recreate this. But I'm guessing you really couldn't make this one fly even if you tried. Because you'd have to kind of just like, you know, toss it in the air for a second. It wouldn't be there forever. But I will say though, one thing I do really love about this character is the way they did her hands and how they used almost like these gumdrops. I mean, come on, that's amazing. And again, very similar to the rest of them, it is very simple lines, so you could draw it out with icing. So yeah, besides the flying, it really is doable. And I guess if you were to make this, you would probably just put it on the table anyways, or on a plate, you know what I mean. Now everybody, we've got Black Panther, and this one is another one with some pretty creative stuff going on. Because if you'll take a look at him, he's actually got claws on his hands, but they're not just normal claws, they're made of gingerbread, kind of sharpened to be like claws. I really enjoy it. And then just overall, I think this is a super easy design that you could actually make out of gingerbread. And I feel like when it comes to these, if you wanted to make them in real life, and I'm going to keep talking about this because maybe somebody out there wants to, you could probably just do it with like a flat gingerbread, and then that's about it. You don't have to actually have them in the pose, because I feel like that would be way too complicated. But then again, I've seen crazier things happen, so if you go for it, do what you can. Now we've got Thor, and this is another really great one because of the way they did the hammer, as well as the, I guess you could say, like buttons on his suit. I mean, take a look at that, guys. It's another like gumdrop one. Seriously, seriously well done. And I also like how in the middle of the belt, they even put the icing T for Thor, and this is kind of like the classic comic book version. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I guess most of them are. It's just a lot of the comic book versions also kind of look like the MCU ones when they're made out of gingerbread. But when it comes to the Thor as well as Captain Marvel, and one that we're going to be talking about in a few minutes, they're just a little bit more obvious. Oh, and then also keeping it on theme with Thor, there was an exclusive version that released, which is actually the Diamond Edition version that went to Hot Topic, and this one, I mean, it looks amazing. And now one thing I do find kind of funny about the Thor is that there was actually glitter on the gumdrop in the original one, so I don't know why they added more glitter to the Diamond Edition one, because now here you can't actually see through it. But here's the thing, they both still really look great, and I think just having them next to each other is why I'm talking about it, because if they were separate, I mean, I wouldn't even care. It's just something that kind of stood out to me. And now let's get into this one here, which is probably my favorite out of all of the Marvel ones, and it is the Gingerbread Spider-Man. Like seriously, this thing looks amazing. And it's another one very similar to Captain Marvel, where you couldn't actually have him in the air as an actual gingerbread, but I mean, we're gonna look past that because I just really enjoy Spider-Man. And now I do want to take this one out of the box because I wanted to show you guys one thing going on with this figure, and I've been trying to figure out what it's actually made of if they're going with like actual candy things. And I think you guys know what I'm gonna mention. It is the web that he's got going around and then behind him. Is it like some sort of icing, or is it, I I don't know, some like licorice that's white. I'm not exactly sure. But one thing that does kind of help me out a little bit is that on the top here, you can actually see that it does have some sort of like drip coming off the side. So maybe they're going for icing. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And of course, this is the one that I was talking about when I mentioned that there was another one that looked like its comic book version, or at least it was a little more obvious that it was the original version of Scarlet Witch. And this one definitely does look great, especially with the way they did her hands and how you can again see like those maybe like hard candies for this one because there is no sugar on the outside of it. And you know what, now that I think about it, it's too bad that we didn't get a Vision, but I guess he's a smaller character than the rest of them, so maybe if they make a wave 2, hey, I'd love to see it. And now we've got one more for the Marvel line, which is Gingerbread Thanos. This one here was also exclusive to the Funko shop, so kind of a tough one to get. And one thing I really enjoy about this figure is the way they did the Infinity Gauntlet and how it's almost got like maybe like tiny little sugar candies on the outside, something similar to Nerds maybe, as well as the way they did his armor and then the purple lining around it. And it's also really funny how they can make a gingerbread character look pretty angry. And now everybody, the next one that we've got here is only 2 characters, but it is the Gingerbread Minnie Mouse as well as Mickey Mouse. These ones released, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm not exactly sure when. Okay, so back in 2020, so 2 years ago now, and these here are again some really great ones, and they were both exclusive to the Funko shop. And I gotta say, there were some really great details going on with both of them, like how Mickey's got a candy cane as well as a Santa hat on, and then Minnie's got a little stocking gingerbread, and I'm kind of curious if it has that little bit of icing on the back, very similar to Captain America. And so just for fun, let's check, because I don't know if I ever have checked, and let's see it. Ooh, it does not. Uh-oh, Funko, come on. No, I'm totally kidding, because it is a small thing. It probably could have just been a little dollop on the end of the hand, but still, it would have been cool to see some white coming out of the back. And I gotta say, these ones here are super detailed, like way more detailed than the Marvel ones already. And I'm not exactly sure when the Marvel ones released. Was it the same year? No, it was a year later. Oh, hey, I don't know. I thought these ones came out after because they've got a little bit more detail, but I guess when it comes to those ones, they probably want to make them a little bit simpler because they are gingerbread ones, and these here do still really look great. I mean, both of them together, like if you're gonna be getting one of them, you gotta get the other. The only reason I checked was to see if maybe these ones came out after the Marvel ones, and that's why they've got a little bit more detail, but no, they came out before. So I don't really know, but one thing I do know is that I really enjoy both of these ones, and if you're gonna be picking up one, you gotta get the other because you can't have Minnie without Mickey. And now let's get into some more superheroes, but they're not Marvel this time. We've got DC, and the first one in this line is going to be Superman. And again, very similar to the Marvel ones, they did go with the classic comic versions, and with Superman here, I really do like it because they gave him the little curl in the front, as well as the S kind of being stretched like it is actually icing and gingerbread. And something that I did find kind of unique with this one is that he's got a cape, and I want to kind of take this one out of the box to see if maybe they did it out of like icing or something like that, because again, very similar to the Minnie Mouse, I didn't really take it out to take a look, and I don't know, maybe it's like some sort of like flat candy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because that really does look great. Now for this next figure here, I have to make a bit of a confession. I never did get the original Batman. The only one that I have is the Hot Topic exclusive Diamond Edition version, which is technically better, and we have every single gingerbread character. I just don't have the one without the glitter, so I guess technically today's video is clickbait because I don't actually have every single one, but I mean, it's really close enough. And I think you guys would have to agree with me. The glitter one just looks so much better, so why bother getting both? Oh, and now something that I haven't talked about for any of these figures yet, but it stood out to me with the Batman logo, is that the way it kind of looks like a kid could have made these, because the logo on this one is a little bit to the left. Like, do you guys see what I'm talking about? It's not perfect, and I really do enjoy that. Now, everybody, let's get into Aquaman, and this is another one of those figures that they definitely went all out with, especially with his trident. Because the rest of him, if I'm gonna be honest, is kind of just like a normal gingerbread figure, but the way he's holding kind of like a giant peppermint stick, as well as a gingerbread piece at the bottom with the icing on it, I really enjoy it. And whoever designed these over at Funko, I gotta give them props for that one, because it is just so creative how they did it, and now it looks like the peppermint stick is actually sticking right into the gingerbread. And now, everybody, we've got the Gingerbread Wonder Woman. This is another one that I want to ask you guys about. What do you think the lasso is made of? Like some sort of candy, maybe a licorice rope? I don't know. What do you think? And then also another part that I really enjoy is the way they did her hair, because it looks like it's actually two pieces of gingerbread on top of each other, because her face sticks out a little bit farther than her hair, and that is again really neat. Oh, and also the way they did her earrings, now that I've got it out of the box, kind of looks like another candy that I've had before. I don't know what they're called, but they're like a ball, kind of like a normal, just like one of those kind of like crunchy, kind of sugary candies, but they've got bumps all over them. Oh, it's gonna bother me. Are they called maybe like runts? something like that. And I swear there's one inside of it, like if you get a whole box that looks exactly like this. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like I'm just bugging you guys about a bunch of different candy today, but seriously, I'm curious. And then everybody, we've got the Flash, and this one here is another pretty interesting one because of the way they did the lightning behind his feet. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think they were gonna be adding it on the gingerbread character, but the way they did it is actually really well done, and how they made it look like other gingerbread pieces, and then also they even have icing on the side to look like lightning, and he does seem like a pretty quick gingerbread man. I mean, out of all of the gingerbread figures we've taken a look at so far, it definitely looks pretty fast. And now everybody, the last figure for the DC collection, also the newest one that I just got in the other day, is the Joker. It's kind of crazy how well it worked out that I was planning on doing this video today, and then this guy showed up like, I think like 2 days ago. And so if I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really taken a good look at him, so let me pop it out of the box just to see what's going on here. Oh yeah, this is another really great one. He's got a candy cane in his hand, and then he also has one leg in front of the other, and then the face, I mean, that is really, really well done. And I honestly don't know what type of icing they're trying to make this look like. I mean, I know what it is, but I can't think of what it's called. It's like maybe, I don't want to say royal icing, but it's something where it's a little bit thicker than like normal icing, and it's almost like kind of glossy, and then you can use a toothpick to kind of shape it however you want, and then you kind of like tap it a couple times and it flattens itself out. I see people on Instagram do that all the time, and the face on this one definitely reminds me of that. So seriously, a cool way to do this figure. Now everybody, let's get into the Nightmare Before Christmas gingerbread ones that actually just released on Black Friday, and if you want these figures, you could probably still go pick them up at your local Hot Topic. Because my location still has a bunch, so I'm sure yours still has a couple as well. And taking a look at this one here, the Jack Skellington, it's kind of just like a normal gingerbread man, but it really does look like him. And something that stood out to me right away with this figure is the way they did the bow tie and the small piping pieces on the front. Then everybody, we've got Oogie Boogie, and because he's got like bugs on his hand, I thought this was really creative. They kind of gave him like a couple gummy worms. Take a look at that. And then also the green on this is super vibrant, and I don't know, there's just something about this one that I really, really enjoyed. Oh, also, I like how they did the stitching on the outside of this one to make it look more like Oogie Boogie, and it's all around the mouth as well as the edges of him. And then everybody, we've got Sally, and this is another one of those characters where they do have a candy cane, and oh, I just noticed now, they added that little bit of icing to make it look like it's actually stuck to her hand. Okay, I gotta take this one out just so I can see it a little bit closer up, because that is really nice that they added that. And also, this would be the second character to have hair on the back side, and yeah, another kind of interesting way to do it. Because it's not like Wonder Woman where it was like the same piece but 2 levels. It's actually like, it looks like a separate piece of gingerbread. You can see there, they actually gave it a bit of a line to make it look like 2 pieces. And then from the front, you can see the icing going down the back, and then also the icing on the side of the candy cane to make it look like it's actually stuck there. And so overall, a really, really well done figure. And I like the way they did her dress, and it's almost like a bunch of different shapes. So it's a little bit simpler than she is in the actual movie, but it totally makes sense because of course they're gingerbread. And then we've got Zero, and this one here is a little bit of a unique one because it's almost very similar to the way they did Sally for his tail, where it's like an extra piece of gingerbread behind. And then the way they did his curly ears, it almost looks like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, to make it look like it's curling around, they didn't actually like curl a piece of gingerbread. They kind of just made it flat, but then had like a piece separate to make it look like there could be a curl if you were to actually make this out of gingerbread, and I really do like that. And then yeah, if you take a look at the back, you can see that's what the tail is looking like. It looks like a completely different piece of gingerbread. And also, if you've ever seen Nightmare Before Christmas, you would know that Zero has a pretty big nose. So the way they did it here by almost like bumping up the icing a little bit, I really do like it. And now, hold on guys, that's not where the gingerbread stuff ends, because I have a couple other random things that I still want to show you guys, like these here, the gingerbread pop pillows. They're definitely some of my favorite gingerbread things that I've got in my collection besides the figures, because I don't know, they're just so soft that I really enjoy them. And then of course we also have the soda, and this one here was another one of those Black Friday things over at Hot Topic. It was the gingerbread Santa Jack, and this is the only way you can get a Santa Jack. And if you want to take a look at him, this is what the common was, and then if you want to see the chase, it's really well done. They made him look a little bit sad, then he's gonna bite out of the top of him. And I really am hoping that they make more gingerbread sodas in the future and do something like this. I think they'd be amazing. Especially if they continue to make exclusive characters like this where you can't get them anywhere else. Oh, and then keeping it on theme with the gingerbread Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, I also got this cup over at Hot Topic, which was, I believe, a little bit pricey, but it was the only one in the store, so I grabbed it. Yeah, it was $21.90, but then I might have had a coupon. I don't know. Whatever it is, I thought it was still so cool. And then we've got this gingerbread pocket pop here of Jack Skellington, which I thought was pretty cute. And then also they had these blind boxes over there where you could get a pin inside of them. And Noah and I both picked up one, and here were the two that we got. And there was also a chase inside, which I believe is a glitter version of Jack. We didn't get that, but I was able to get this Sally here, which looks pretty cool, as well as the normal gingerbread Jack, which, I mean, come on, it still looks nice. And then some of you guys might remember with my Cyber Monday video, I was actually able to get a giant gingerbread pin set, and it actually just arrived the other day, so I figured I might as well show it off. I think I got this for maybe like $20 that day. It was something really cheap. And I figured since it arrived, why wait for the Cyber Monday video? Let's just take a look at it today, because this is a really well done box, and I kind of want to open it up because there was a figure inside of here that doesn't actually have a normal one. Or well, hold on, there was a pin inside of here that doesn't have a normal figure. You know what I mean. And so the one that I'm talking about is that one on the top, and I believe that is the, I want to say it's Captain Marvel, if I were to guess. I'm not exactly sure though. Or maybe it's Miss Marvel. I think it's Captain Marvel though. And if you guys want to take a look at all of them, here they are. Let me know, who is this one up here? And well, everybody, there you go. That is all of the Gingerbread Funko stuff that I've got in my collection. And let me know in the comment section below which one out of everything that I showed was your favorite. Or maybe you've got something else that you have in your collection that I don't have. But anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow.